Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about how to get over a breakup and heartbreak. So it's actually really simple in terms of the method to get over a breakup, to get over your heartbreak. But it does take time. It is a bit tedious and yeah, you definitely do need a lot of time, depending on how long obviously the relationship was. And also how invested you were, because sometimes you can really fall in love with someone fast, and it'd be a whirlwind romance and you can still be reeling for that loss for a long time. So there's a couple of factors there, so you've got to basically suss out which one are you. Like, are you someone who wasn't that invested and you're sort of just a bit cheesed off basically that you're no longer with that person, or do you feel like your heart was raked over the coals and you are really struggling with the loss, basically? And if you're searching a video like how to get over a breakup, then obviously you are struggling somewhat, right? So the method to get over a breakup is you got to associate a new meaning to that breakup. That's pretty much it. Because if you are still really upset about the breakup, then obviously the meaning that you have associated to that breakup is pain, sorrow. You didn't want this to happen. Perhaps you feel like things are kind of out of your control, and that's one of the things that can then make us feel really bad about ourselves. Like if we feel like our lives are totally out of control. So basically, you've got to think of how you can associate a new meaning to this heartbreak, to this breakup. So, for example, perhaps you start seeing it as a new adventure, right? Perhaps, okay, this relationship didn't work out, and so now I can move on with my life and see life now as a new adventure. It's a new chapter in my life. But obviously, words don't teach. Like, I can tell you to associate that meaning to your breakup, but you're never really going to feel it unless you're never going to take it on board unless you really feel that, okay? So what I would suggest that you do to help you associate a new meaning to this breakup, to this heartbreak, is to write down for yourself, like, what could this mean for you? What are the positives of this breakup? Maybe it taught you a lesson, right? This could be another example. Perhaps it taught you a lesson, like, of who not to date, or it could be showing you who the kind of people that you do want to date in the future, because perhaps it's going to be nothing like that person, or perhaps you want someone who is kind of similar to that person but have different aspects, like, for example, not going to dump you, right, or break up with you, or leave you feeling heartbroken. So it's all about opening up these new avenues to feeling differently towards the situation, because that's basically what happens in a lot of therapy. Like, if you want a good therapist, and what a good therapist does is they show you new ways that you can look at your problems, right? And it's no different for heartbreaks and breakup. So it's a good idea to write a list down of the different things that this could mean, okay, to you, and they've got to be positive, and you've got to really feel it as well, because I can say this to you, but unless you feel it and you really feel like, oh yeah, this was meant to happen, this was divinely orchestrated, this was here to teach me a valuable lesson, if you don't feel that, then it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're still going to feel heartbroken. You're still going to feel bad about it. So you've got to really do the inner work and try and figure out what this could actually mean in a positive way for you, and really sort of think about that. So for example, for me, in a different few situations, actually, I'll give you a few examples of how I've done this for myself. So I had a breakup in my early 20s with a woman that cheated on me, and from the beginning there was red flags that this was going to happen, right? So for example, we'd been dating perhaps only like a few weeks, and she asked me, oh, what would you do if I cheated on you? Okay. Now, I continued to be with that girl for another whole year, basically. And during that time, guess what happened? She cheated on me multiple times, right? Because she was a cheater. But if I had listened to the red flags from the beginning, then I and basically believed what she said and what she was saying, and trusting my suspicion of what could happen in the future, which eventually did happen. If I just trusted myself, then that I could have avoided that, right? And some people might think, oh my God, that's awful, that's horrible, that's really bad luck, whatever it may be. But I actually, looking back at that experience, see it as a good experience, because when I went into dating in the future and dating new women and meeting new women, I looked out for the red flags because I failed to do it in the past, and therefore I had better experiences moving forward. And so that was a valuable lesson. So I associate that meaning to that relationship now. Like, it was there to serve me. It was there to serve as a purpose, and would ultimately help me become the person I am today, helping people with these sorts of things. So there was another situation as well, which happened after that breakup, right? There was a woman that I really, really liked, and I thought she really liked me, because, you know, she was gay too. She was a lesbian too. And because I was foolish and young, I thought, oh yeah, because she's a lesbian too, then obviously she's going to like me. But obviously, anyone who knows anything about attraction, that doesn't work out, right? Because you can really fancy a woman and she not like you back, basically. But I was falsely believing that she would, and she would want to be with me just because she was a lesbian too, which was actually very narcissistic of me, if you think about it. Very self-absorbed. But anyway, because of that, because she was kind of interested a little bit, but it was one of those situations where she was sort of stringing me along a little bit. She was a bit hot and cold. But because I was so desperate to try and get her to like me, that's when I started searching up dating advice, which ultimately led me to being a coach and teaching it myself. So back in the day, I was watching a channel called Dating Logic, and Marie Dubeck, Corey Wayne, you know, all those like kind of OG dating channels that were on YouTube at the time. And I got so good at knowing these different aspects, knowing these different things, that it then got to a point where I was practicing those things. They were working for me, and then it then allowed me the ability to actually teach it myself. But it all came from that heartbreak, the fact that I really wanted that woman to like me, and I was trying to find ways to get her to like me, right? So even though it was tough at the time and it was horrible at the time because I really wanted her and I was really heartbroken over it, it still led me to somewhere that was my ultimate sort of destiny in a sense, right? So that's the meaning I associate to that. It wasn't a bad experience. It was meant to happen. It was meant to serve me. So that's where you've got to find for yourself. You've got to look for those silver linings. You've got to look for those reasons as to why maybe this has happened to you, even if it sucks right now. And when you associate those new meanings, that's when you start to feel better. That's when you start to feel less bothered about it. That's when you start to feel less heartbroken over it, okay? And you can apply that to any kind of issue that you have in your life, right? Any problems that you may be having right now. And it doesn't even have to be relationship or romance related, okay? Which is cool. It's like a formula that kind of works for everything in your life, and even experiences that maybe you didn't get over when you was a kid or when you was a teenager. If you look and find the meaning, if you really search for it, it will be there, right? And you can associate a new positive meaning to it, and you can start to feel better. And that is how you really do get over a breakup and heartbreak. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.